Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very excited because I have a great guest joining me at this time. He's the bassist, backing vocalist, and founding member of Las Vegas-based Velvet Chains. Please welcome Nils Goldschmidt.
Hey, what's happening, dude? Hopefully that was my cue to say something.
Yes, it was.
All right. Thanks for having me, man. This is great. Appreciate you attempting to pronounce my name correctly. Even I can't do it correctly. So much love, dude. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on the podcast. I've been following Velvet Chains for a few months now. I am excited to chat everything that you guys have in the works with the new single and shows and all of that. So thank you so much.
Oh, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. No, super excited to do this anytime.
All right, so before we really dive into Velvet Chains and everything you guys have in the works right now, so I got a fun question that I asked our friend Cody from Gravecore, so I'm going to ask you as well.
Hell yeah.
So if you had to pick one album that you think is 10 out of 10, no skips, listen all the way through, which album would you pick?
Yeah, no, I get asked that question every so often. And I'd probably have to say, look, I'm gonna give you two because I've been listening to an album from start to finish recently. It's not something that marked my life, but I'm really into it now. So I'll give you two. The one that if I was on a boat and capsized and I'm in an island, I only have time to grab one album. Yeah, that's usually how I've been asked this question before, that I got to listen for the rest of my life. It's probably going to be Appetite for Destruction, right? It's got to be, right? I'm from that generation that grew up with GNR. But with that said, no doubt, that's the one, right? That's the one. But lately I've been listening to Turnstile's latest album, Never Enough, dude, and I just can't get enough of it. I'm from start to finish. I just love it. And I was aware of them. I was not a fan, but I heard that one. Now it's probably at the top. So modern versus, legacy, Appetite for sure.
Well, two very good picks. I've only listened to a few Turnstile songs, so I'm curious. I'm gonna have to listen to more of their music now. But Cody went with Wasp, which I think definitely fits. That fits him.
Yeah, no, totally. And also, don't get me wrong. I'm not the type that sits down and listens to an album from start to finish. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not some super music nerd or anything. So for me to say, hey, here's a couple albums that I actually do enjoy listening from start to finish, that's meaningful, at least for me. So yeah, dude, you got to check out Turnstile, man. It's so good.
I definitely will. So, but it's kind of interesting. It does kind of lead me to where I was going to start with this interview. So what kind of inspired you to pursue becoming a musician?
Yeah, it's probably a mix of, I played violin from when I was 5 to 15 years old. Back home as a kid, in elementary school and all that, the kindergarten, whatever the time that was. And I kind of hated it. And I was playing orchestra and classic music and Vivaldi and Beethoven and all that stuff. But I honestly didn't really enjoy it, but it gave me such a musical foundation. And then, in my pre-teens or early teens, as soon as I started noticing girls, and I'm like, dude, no girls want to date or hang out with a violin player. They want to hang out with guitar players. At least that's what it was like back in the day. And that probably got ingrained in me. But yeah, no, that. And then I have an older sister. I'd see posters on her wall, and she was listening to Skid Row, GNR, and all Motley Crue, all that stuff. So I just remember these superheroes that were posters on a wall. So that probably messed with my head. And that's why GNR is my ultimate favorite band, because it's the first band I ever remember listening to, other than little kids music and stuff, right? So that's where that comes from. And then I took a different path in life where I went to college. I got a degree in completely unrelated stuff. I eventually went the business route. I started a couple businesses, but I always had that seed in my head that was planted when I was a kid. And I was like, at one point, I'm like, you know what? It's time to pursue my passion. And that's when I went all in rock and roll.
So obviously when you're doing unrelated kind of business stuff, so was there always the goal of I want to become a musician?
Not necessarily. I think it started hitting me once I was just all day just thinking work, and I started to start questioning everything, and look, there's nothing wrong with work. Obviously we all got to make money, and I was doing really well, and to this day I do pretty well, but it was more of a like, do I want to do this for the rest of my life and just be defined by my ability to sell more stuff, or to have a more in my bank account? And again, I'm not discounting that. That's incredibly important, right? To money gives you freedom to pursue other things. That's the way I see it, things that really matter. So if you don't have that, you can't, right? So that's at some point I started thinking, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be more to this. Once I achieved a certain level that I had the luxury of being able to think of that, right? So that's when I started kind of switching my mind around. But I found maybe later in life what my calling was, and I'm so lucky because I'd tell you 99% of my friends, no matter where they're at in life, if they're killing it, making all the money in the world. I have a lot of very, very successful, rich friends, and I have friends who, barely make ends meet, and everything in between. And I tell you, 95% of them probably have no clue what is their passion and what makes them happy. So I think that I got super lucky in doing that. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer.
Oh no, for sure, but it's definitely very true. Obviously, with everything, you have to make enough money to survive, and whatever someone's comfort level is with how much money they have. But to me, you can do work and you can have a job, but if you're not like either passionate about it or that you're not satisfied with it, there should be it should be more than life than just like I go to work and that's all I do.
Dude, 100%. And there's different ways to do it, right? You can always have a nice work-life balance permanently throughout your life, or you can devote, 5 or 10 years to just having to work and sacrificing everything else. And then it kind of, if you're fortunate enough, it flips over, and then you can minimize the actual amount of work you do, have a lot of time because you did well, and now you have time for family, whatever's your passion. It could be reading, it could be climbing Mount Everest, or climbing the mountain behind your house. It could be anything, right? So there's ways to do it. You can do it permanently, 50-50. You can do 99% one thing for a few years, and it doesn't matter. Like, everybody finds their own way. There's no cookie cutter approach, but I do feel that ultimately, what's the point of life? It's just, you gotta be happy. That's it. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, exactly. If you're not happy, then there's kind of like almost no point, there's no point to it. If you can't find joy in it, then it's kind of like, what's the point of, not go too dark, but what's the point of it? So you have to find something that makes you happy, that you enjoy doing, that's not just work, or just not just whatever you do every day. It should be some fun, something you look forward to.
100%. And some people are super happy doing nothing, literally staring at the wall and eating potato chips and watching TV. And dude, if that's what makes you happy, you save a lot of money and you less energy wasted. And I'm jealous. And there's other people that constantly need to be chasing a carrot. And if that's what makes you happy, then more power. Again, other people just want to work out all day. It doesn't matter. Just have 20 kids. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So just find it. And that's the tough thing. It's finding it.
Oh yeah, exactly. For sure. But I did want to shift back to you for a little bit. So obviously you said you were a violinist kind of, growing up and all of that. So when did you pursue bass?
Yeah. So eventually, a few years in there, I started in my early 30s. I said, okay, I need to figure this shit out. What is it I want to do? And I grabbed the guitar and I went over to, I found a teacher. I said, fuck it. I'm able I've been able to succeed in other things in life. I'm gonna try this shit. Why not? But I just wanted to learn to play and maybe hang out with a couple of friends from school and play, after hours at their house. And I did guitar for a little bit, but it just felt always a little alien to me. And then my teacher at the time said, hey man, grab this. And he gave me a bass. And it felt like home. I'm like, wait, 4 strings? Wait, 1 finger at a time? Kind of like a violin, right? And again, you can get crafty with bass and violin and play, every finger at the same time and whatever, right? But especially in the beginning. And so I felt that. And I'm like, so instead of playing it up here, it's just down here. And you can use a bow or a pick, or you can use your fingers, whatever it is. And it just felt like home. And I just never stopped. And it started with... hey, let's hang out over at Jeff's house and, play a couple tunes, whatever. I had no goals at that point. It was just, let's see what happens next. And then we got a gig somewhere, and then we put a cover band together, and then we started playing bars. And that whole thing just snowballed into, hey, now we've toured multiple countries, had 3 songs on top 40, and just trying to break through and become a mainstream act. So it's been a little crazy, man, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh no, for sure, and kind of reading you guys' kind of progression with that as you kind of detailed as well. Like when you first started, did you see that like, oh, I'm gonna open for Slash in South America?
No, that's funny you say that. No, I didn't even think I was gonna ever play a show when I first started. I just wanted to hang out at some friend's house and see, you know, if we could play a couple songs. It was literally that, and then it was it was a Halloween party, and the guy, it started with that. He's like, hey, I'm doing a Halloween party at my house. We should play a couple tunes. We played 3 songs or something in front of the guests, and we're like, hey, this is fun. And then the bar thing happened and so on. But eventually, once we went the original route, which was during COVID, and I've had a few changes because I started the band, and I've had to, you know, had a couple lineup changes as we've gone. Our current lineup, I hope it stays like this forever, because oh my God, these guys are incredible. But at some point, when we started playing, when we went original, with the original route, I said, you know what? The day I opened for Guns N' Roses, I'm gonna retire because I've lived my wildest dreams, right? And granted, we haven't opened for GNR yet, and who knows? Maybe it'll never happen. It's fine. But hey, we went on tour with Slash, and that's close enough. So if you if people ask me, like, if you ever ask me like, hey, what's one thing in your life that you're incredibly proud of? Yeah, obviously, my wife, my kid, your family always comes first. But and I've done a lot of cool things in my life. But I'm like, look, if I die tomorrow, I could say I opened for Slash 4 cities, and that's the rock and roll god right there, right? So I've lived a full life. So yeah, man, I never thought about it, but yeah, once we went the original route, it kind of came to mind, and here we are. So you could argue we still got GNR, but hey, whatever.
But hey, if it's not GNR, I mean, opening for Slash is amazing. You know, Slash and Miles Kennedy, such a great band, anyway, with everyone they have in that band. But yeah, it's just such a cool thing. Obviously, I'm very happy for you guys with that, and hopefully one day you guys do open for GNR, because that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be sick, man. But yeah, meeting Slash was incredible. He came to our green room, introduced himself, as if we wouldn't know who he was had he not introduced himself, right? But no, and he was super kind, and he told us, hey guys, I heard you guys do a cover of Suspicious Minds. I had never heard it before. I didn't choose you guys because of a cover. I wanted you to know that you guys, I like your music, and again, you're not here because of a cover song that you did, even though it sounds great. Dude, he was super generous. He didn't have to say any of that. He could just stood there, shook our hands, and left. So he spent a little bit of time talking to us, and yeah, it was incredible. He went above and beyond, and yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna forget any of us that moment for sure.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm glad it was a great experience for you guys with everything, with those shows and Slash and all of that. So I'm very happy for you guys. But also, I did want to transition a little bit to more present day now, because I believe last month you guys have released a new single entitled Sins. So for anyone who has not checked that out, haven't listened to it yet, like, what can they expect?
Yeah, so Sins is I don't know, we went a little grungy on that one, especially the opening riff. We have a song called Wasted that we love to play, and the audience loves it no matter where we play it. And we said we got to do something that's along that vein. And we're similar to Turnstile, which is something I admire of them. They just do whatever the hell they want. If you listen to that album, it's like one song sounds like hardcore, the next one is punk, the next one is like The Police. It sounds like Sting. It's they do whatever they want. So we've been kind of doing a little bit of that for a while now. And some people love it, and some people are like, dude, all your songs are different. We're like, yeah, fuck it. It's whatever we're feeling in the moment, you know? We're not there to just be a one-trick pony. And that one is very, Since is very grungy with a thrasher bridge in the middle, which for me, that bridge just makes the song. I love playing that thing. And the audience loves it. They get into it. They start dancing and jamming to it. That's what it's about for me, right? I want the audience to have a good time. So we just released that, but we do have a song coming out October 24th, and it's called How the Story Ends. This is the first time I actually say this to anyone. So you got the premiere. So October 24th, we got a song coming out, How the Story Ends. And for me, that song is the best song. I've never said this about a song that's about to come out. Never. For me, that is the best song we've ever written. And I'm obsessed with it. And I've been listening. It's been done for a couple days now. Everything, music video, everything. I've been listening to it like 10 times a day. Like typically musicians don't listen to their own shit, but that like I don't listen to our other songs, right? This one I'm obsessed with. I think people are gonna dig it. And yeah, we're going to radio with this one. We're gonna go radio in multiple countries and do a small Midwest tour supporting it, and maybe next year we're going to Europe to support it and so on. So yeah, we're a bit on a roll, and we're actively working now. We have like 7 or 8 more songs in the works, so it's fun. But this one it's gonna, I don't know, at least for me, I think this one's gonna definitely do something.
Well, I'm definitely very excited to hear more new music from you guys. So this single that's coming out later this month, so like, can you give any hints? Like, what can people expect from this?
Yeah, I think that this one is, if you like Dead Inside, we work with the same producer on this one. Dead Inside hit number 22 on Billboard and 21 on Mediabase. That's our biggest song to date. If you like Last Drop, which is one of our first songs that we ever did, I think it mixes both of those with a much more modern approach to it. It's hard to describe a song, but yeah, it's just, you'll see. We're gonna start posting teasers, and it's different. It hits well. It's good.
Well, I'm very excited to check it out, and I appreciate you sharing on this podcast the upcoming music. So I'm kind of curious. So like, as you were saying, like all the songs, they got some different style, different flair to them. So like, what is like the writing and recording experience like for Velvet Chains?
Yeah, it varies. It's very different. It could be a riff that one of our guitar players came up with. It could be just a bunch of lyrics that I came up with, and like it could be me. It could be our singer Chaz. It could be really anyone. Every time we could meet up with a producer and say, hey, let's start something from scratch, or we could have some demos. It's a completely different situation. But I'll give you an example how the story ends. We went to the producer and we said, hey, here's a few songs that were really hitting us hard right now. Not our songs, right? Other songs out there. And we want to do something in this vein, but keep it Velvet Chains, right? We don't want to copy somebody else or anything. So we gave him that. He composed this melody, just a melody, kind of like an orchestra thing, no lyrics, no nothing. And we're like, yes, that's it. And then we went in there and we changed everything around and made a billion changes. But the producer Mitch Marlowe, who's incredible, he came up with the main skeleton, the main tone, the main theme, and then we went in there and butchered the hell out of it, and we created our own based on that. So I think we're gonna do a few more songs with him in that style. But hey, any moment, like in our group chat, it's like, hey guys, I just came up with this last night, check it out. And that may end up being a song a year from now, or 3 months from now, or 3 weeks from now. So there's no one specific process. It's just art, you know. And it works for some bands when they only have one way to do things. For us, it's kind of like a free for all, and that's why we end up having songs that are sometimes wildly different from each other. But I like it that way, you know. You could argue it's a great thing or it's a terrible thing or whatever, but I don't know. It works for us.
Well, I like variety. I like when, not every song sounds the same, that there's different, vibes and different styles and tones and all of that. I'm a huge fan of that because it keeps things interesting.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh, right? And back in the day, I feel like in the 90s and the 2000s, like you were not allowed as a band to like diverge too much from the one thing that either made you famous or that you've been doing for a while. And that's because people were part of tribes back then, right? If you seem way younger, what are you, 21, 22, something like that?
27.
27. Oh, dude, you got I don't know what you're doing. You got some sort of thing going, but yeah, probably some
great genetics is what I've been told.
There you go. Probably do some skin treatment, lotion or something. But nah, dude, that's great. But I'm a little older than that. So yeah, back when I grew up, it's like if you had to dress a certain way, you could only listen to certain bands. Otherwise, you were crossing over to something else, and that wasn't cool. But now it's not like that anymore. People listen to what they like, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
But even just, I kind of, obviously being younger, I kind of caught like the tail end of kind of that. It's kind of transitioned more now in probably recent decade, but it was a lot of like, you had to stay in this genres were obviously, they're still big, but not as prevalent. I would say nowadays that like, if you were in like rock and roll, you had to play rock and roll. If you sound, you had to sound like a certain bands and all of that. And I think nowadays it's nice. I think there's more freedom to kind of express different styles of music and not be like pinned into one genre.
Dude, 100%. And like, but there's always going to be elements to us that you may be able to figure out, oh, that sounds like one of those Velvet Chain songs, even though it may be very different. But I don't think we'll ever like cross over into like hip hop or like scream. We do a little bit of screaming in certain parts as backup vocals. You can definitely hear that in some of our songs, but I don't think we'll ever turn into like some hardcore death metal band or so there's elements of everything, but there's also a little bit of a, hey, let's not cross into something else. It's just not because we don't like it. It's just like we were doing the music video for How the Story Ends over the weekend, and we were blasting Beastie Boys the whole time. And it's like, that's not the kind of music we're doing, but fuck the Beastie Boys, dude. Hell yeah. So yeah, now we're into everything, man.
Oh yeah, no, you guys aren't gonna be doing jazz or anything like that, but it's always cool to come up with some different things, to keep things interesting, and also again for me, people who like different kind of styles of music, I appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's the way. That's the ticket. Yeah.
So, but I also did want to cover. So obviously, yes, you got a few live shows coming up as well. So I'm curious for you, like, do you approach performing live differently than recording music in a studio?
Well, yeah, recording music in the studio today, I think our first album that we released many years ago, and then we kind of pulled off the internet, which was Icarus with our old lineup. We recorded that one live in a live room, but we haven't since. Like, everything now is the way most bands work these days, which is, one instrument at a time into, Pro Tools or whatever you're using. And so, yeah, the whole studio thing is just wildly different to performing live. And some people enjoy that more than performing live. Some people don't. For me personally, and I'm not talking about my band, I don't know what they enjoy. They probably enjoy performing live more than anything else too. For me, it's that, right? Everything that we do, being on that stage, which may be 0.5% of the music journey, it's very little time that we spend on a stage compared to everything else involved, right? But that makes it all worthwhile. So for me, it's all about playing live and interacting with the crowds and just giving the crowd a good time and just seeing their faces. So yeah, for me, that's what it's all about.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. I mean, the live music, I mean, I'm obviously a huge fan of concerts and I go to many concerts, but dude, it's just that live energy, man. You can't beat it.
Yeah, you really can. And also we love to interact with the crowd and take pictures and stuff. So sometimes after our set, when we're opening, we'll come out and watch the headliners with the crowd and hang out and get to know them. And it's not like, oh, we have to do that. No, we're tired. No, it's like, dude, that's one of the best things. Just meet people and get to know them. Where are you from? What do you do? What brought you out here? How great is the headliner? Just meeting people. That's a ton of fun too.
Oh yeah, no, music connects people. It's universal. You can, if you're at a concert, you've made a connection with somebody without even talking to them yet. You already have something to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. And the cool thing is that, look, I may be talking to the most liberal person in the world, and then I may be talking to the most hardcore conservative person in the world, and then I may be talking to somebody that just doesn't give a shit, and then somebody that hasn't made up their mind, especially in today's climate, like political and social climate. It's like, it's so refreshing to just bond over something. Like, I don't need to know what you think about this or that's going on. Let's just talk music. And then we all realize that we have a lot more in common than we have differences. And music does that, right? And I love that about music at the end of the day.
No, for sure. It's a time where, personal differences or like, opinions on society and stuff, it doesn't really matter. Everyone's at a show to have fun and to listen to music, and that's definitely a bonding experience. And as you said, it allows time to talk about our similarities compared to dividing us with our differences.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, that's so true. And I wish that more people in their daily lives would see that we have, like you said, so many more things in common than things that divide us. But then again, it's not music 24/7. It's not, we've all got to go to work and get bombarded by the media. And so end of the day, man, I just try to not pay too much attention to things, but it's tough sometimes too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It is, but it's definitely a very fun, obviously if anyone goes to a live show, they know that it's just at least, for a few hours, it's going to be a lot of fun and you probably won't have ads interrupt anything.
Yeah, not yet. Maybe down
the
road.
True.
We'll be playing a song. Hey, everybody stop. We got to run a couple ads. Holy shit. Or if you pay more, then there won't be any ads. Goddamn.
Hey, just wait.
Yeah. Like we'll be playing, but the speakers will be blasting ads at like 2 for $1 at Burger King. And then boom, it'll switch back and we still going. Dude.
That would, I wouldn't put it past that. Or it's going to be, hold on, before we play this song, we have to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
That's amazing. Like us up there. Like, hey guys, raise up your hand if you want to get a new credit card from Delta Airlines, and we need 20 hands, otherwise we can't play the next song. Amazing. Oh, dude.
Well, at least for right now, live music is not like that.
That's right.
But since we are talking about the live set, so I'm curious for you, do you have a favorite Velvet Chain song to perform live?
Yeah, I love playing Wasted, that grungy song, because I enjoy doing backup vocals a lot. So I usually we start the shows with that song, and it's me doing the backup vocals on it. And because I have some parts and some, like we all have backup vocals, except our lead guitar player. We've just been lazy. He's been asking for a mic, and we're like, yeah, next time, dude. But eventually we got to get him on there. He sings incredible too. I like that, and I like singing and playing at the same time. But that's definitely one. And then Ghost in the Shell, which we released before Sins, has that. That's the one with the Thrasher bridge. What am I saying? Yeah, okay. So Ghost in the Shell has that Thrasher bridge. I mentioned it on Sins. Sins has a different kind of groovy bridge. So sorry for that mistake there. But I enjoy playing that one too, because it goes a little thrash and it gets fun. But Wasted for me is bummer that it's the song we start with. So boom, I just played my favorite song in the set. So it's all downhill from here. I'm joking. I love them all. But yeah, dude, I'd say that one. But it also depends on how engaged the crowd is, because sometimes some of those songs I wrote by myself, and then I see people mouthing the words, and it's like a mind fuck. It's like, wow, dude, that's so cool. They know this thing that I just came up with one day after drinking probably a little bit too many whiskeys, and they dig it. So yeah, man, it really depends on the show, but probably Wasted for me, the one we start with, is probably one of those more fun to play. Yeah.
That is a great pick. I would Ghost in the Shell. That's my favorite Velvet Chain song.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
That awesome. Bridge is just so good.
Chaz is going to love you, because that's the first song that we had Chaz, our new singer, who's killing it, by the way. Oh, my God. And that's the first one with him. So we have this new era of Velvet Chains, and that was the first one he was on. So, yeah, dude.
Nice. Well, pass that along for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
All right, so but also I got a little bit of a unique question, so I'm curious for you, kind of still going along with the live performance. So do you have a preferred bass for like recording music and performing live, or do you use like the same bass throughout?
It depends. So I'm a Sandberg artist. I love Sandberg basses. I found them through the internet one day. So I used to play Stingrays a lot. Then the regular Stingray. Then I discovered the Stingray with a thinner neck, like a jazz neck. I loved it. But one day I went on, but I've never been a big fan of Fender. I went on the internet and I asked in one of the bass forums, I said, hey, I need the versatility of a Fender Jazz, but the low end of a Stingray. And then a bunch of people say, you got to check out Sandberg. And I just blindly ordered one, like spoke to the rep. They kind of put one together for me and sent it out. This was years ago when you could get them within a couple months. Now there's like a 30-month wait. It's insane. And since then, I think I own like 11 different Sandberg basses. And I also own a couple Fenders and a couple Music Man. And I have some other stuff. But for me, Sandberg. And I go back and forth depending on the tour or what's going on. Lately, I've been sticking to one that I modified that has one of the pickups angled. I did that, and now Sandberg is actually making one for me. Like, they don't make them like that, but they're doing one for me specifically that has that and a bunch of other stuff I asked for. So, dude, I'm so stoked. I can't wait to get that new bass. But for recording, sometimes I use a 5-string Model 48, which looks kind of like a Thunderbird. Or I use my one with the angled pickup. But it really depends. If I'm playing a show where somebody just invited me to play a couple tunes, like somebody's birthday party, some event, kind of jump on stage. Then I'll take another one I call Violet, because it's kind of pink, but I refuse to say it's pink. It's violet. And so I got different ones, man. Long answer, but they're all Sandberg, dude. I just love that brand.
Do you have like multiple different colors, or you have like kind of similar colors?
No, yeah, they're all different colors. Of course, I have like 5 that are black. Obviously, I have to, right? It's a metal band, rock band, or whatever we are. But I do have a pearly white one that I took to Latin America, South America a couple times. That I used to play a lot. They all have a little bit of a distinctive sound, and as we've been getting harder and heavier on what we do, I'm always looking for a grittier sound. So the one that I've been using now with the angled pickup, and I made another mod to it where I'm playing. It's almost like having a 5-string. I changed the strings to having that low A with a 130 gauge on the top, and I removed the last string. So it's a 4-string, but it's really a 5-string missing the last string. So it's getting a low end that's insane. It's just insane, and it can handle it. So yeah, man, I got different ones for different situations. But yeah, if somebody's gonna call me and say, hey man, do you want to play some GNR songs at my party over at whatever venue, then I'm gonna bring my white pearly one, which is it's not pearly, it's got a weird shine to it. It's really cool. Because that one has more of a sound that sounds like Duff sound in GNR, right? So it really depends what we're doing. But for what we're doing now as Velvet Chains, yeah, the one I've been using recently is the one. And the new one that they're making for me, I can't wait. That's going to be for sure my signature bass.
Nice. Well, really cool with all of that. And I appreciate you kind of sharing, diving into your collection a little bit. So now as we're starting to close out this interview, so I'm curious, as we're heading to the fall of this year, like what is the rest of this year and early 2026 looking like for Velvet Chains?
Yeah, we're going to be on the road in November. We got some shows with The Haunt. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yep, I have heard of them, yep.
They're great. You should check them out. They're very cool. And we're going to be on the road with them in Florida, and I believe also in the Midwest. And also Dead Sugar is going to join us for some shows. They're a newer up-and-coming band, too. They're super cool. And some local openers. The names slip me, but killer bands. And so we're going to do that. And then early next, or maybe February, March, we are looking to go to Europe. We have 2 weeks or 3 weeks in Europe. And then we are likely also going to jump in on a tour of more of a mainstream act here in the US. I can't mention any names, but that's very likely to happen too. So no, we got a busy schedule. And on top of that, we got to spend some time in LA working on new songs. So yeah, no, busy, but fun, man, and happy. That's what matters, like we spoke at the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, you have to be having fun, and to me it's always good to be busy than not, because that means you're doing things and you're having fun.
Yeah, dude, and even when we're not in the studio, we're not playing live, we're all traveling together, and we get to act like assholes and dress like this and be, weirdos in society, and that's also very fun. So yeah, highly recommend being in a band.
Oh, for sure, you summed it up quite well.
Oh, thank you.
So now, for everyone watching, where are the best places to find Velvet Chains online?
Yeah, we're the most active. So we're everywhere, but we're the most active on Instagram for sure, and it's at Velvet Chains Band. We have a website where we sell merch. We're on TikTok and Facebook and all that. But I think the easiest way to keep in touch, we answer every comment. You can hit us up directly, hit up the band members directly, whatever you want. We are on Instagram, very active. But again, all the other ones too.
Well, very good. I will also leave some links for Velvet Chains in the description of this podcast. Please shout out and support them. If they come to an area near you, please see them live as well. But Nils, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And I wanted to say also, YouTube, and if you follow us, subscribe there, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, all those things help a ton. It's a little grain of salt in the big world, right? A grain of sand, right? But it all adds up a ton. So any of those, very much appreciated. And dude, thank you for having me. This has been a blast. And anytime you want us back, I can bring the other guys too. Some of the other guys, whatever, man. Just let me know.
Oh, definitely. I would love to have you guys back. Maybe and full band or close to it. It would be a great time.
Oh yeah, dude, totally.
Well, again, I will leave links for Velvet Chains. Check them out, support them, buy some merch, subscribe to all their stuff as well. But again, all that will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.